Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to Sweet Start Monday mornings with Bex. And maybe it's not Monday morning when you're watching this, but whenever this finds you, I hope it finds you present, whatever that presence may entail. As usual, we're going to start with a guided meditation and then do some free writing. So if you don't already have a pen and paper with you, I encourage you to pause this and grab one. And also, if you have not yet watched the tips for free writing video, I encourage you to pause this and watch that. And with no further ado, we will do some meditation and writing together. Tarot inspired. So go ahead and lower or close your eyes. Just take a few deep breaths. And if you're in a private enough space where you can give some sound to your out breath, go ahead and do that. Hmm. And then bring your awareness to the sensations in your body. Just noticing if there's any particular sensations that are standing out right now. And if so, see if you can turn towards them with gentleness and acceptance. Just letting them know that you sense them. And if possible, letting them know that they don't have to be any different than they are. Then I want you to imagine yourself in a place that was familiar to you and beloved as a child. Just let yourself be transported back to that place. And see if you can really feel into the feeling of being there, what it feels like to be in that place. Maybe there's a smell associated with it. Notice if your body wants to move through that space in a particular way. If there's sounds associated with that space. If there's anyone else in that space. Just going to take a moment here to fully inhabit the experience of being in that special childhood place. And if you want to just bring your awareness to a final sensation or experience or memory. Just give yourself that moment to marinate in that. And then relocate your body back in the space it's occupying right now. Feeling the place where your sit bones are connecting with the surface supporting you. And offering yourself any sort of stretch or movement that feels good to transition into writing. You can open your eyes when you're ready. Pull out your notebook. And we're going to write for 2 minutes. We're going to do a timed free write from a prompt. And as usual, the idea is to just write without thought or censorship, judgment, no editorial voice. I gotta pull up my timer. Timer's not working, so I'm gonna self-time. Okay, so our prompt for 2-ish minutes is my childhood best friend. My childhood best friend. Ready, set, go. About 30 seconds. And if you want to wrap up what you're writing, finish your sentence. All right, the next prompt is, as a kid, I loved to. As a kid, I loved to. And this is going to be another 2-minute prompt. Ready, set, go. 30 seconds. And if you want to wrap up your thoughts. I want to pause in the writing. We'll have one more prompt, but I didn't show you the tarot card that inspires these writings. This is the Six of Cups. And I'll eventually write more about this in a blog post, but the Six of Cups is in the sign cups of water, which is about emotion and love and feeling. And the six is really related to a sense of childlike innocence and the kind of love that, those with at least childhoods that did have a sense of love and safety can reconnect to. So that's what's inspired by these prompts. So we'll do one more and we're going to go for 5 minutes. So we're going to go a little bit longer. And the prompt here is I'm nostalgic for. I'm nostalgic for. Ready, set, go. About a minute left. If you want to finish up your thoughts. Now, obviously, since this is recorded, you can just pause and keep writing if you want to keep writing. And regardless, I am going to now share with you what I wrote. And I do this as a practice in my own vulnerability of just sharing whatever came up. I also do it because I want to model that free writing doesn't necessarily create amazing pieces of writing, but what it can do is mirror back things that are going on inside of me and of you, and can often contain little nuggets that might be inspiration for further writing or creativity or just thought, conversation. And so when I'm done writing, I'll encourage you to also read your writing aloud, or when I'm done reading, not writing. Okay. My childhood best friend was Mike Hardgrove for a while when we were real little. My sister said we'd play house, and I would be the dad and he would play the mom. But I remember always wanting to be the big brother. I'd wrap myself up in a big Afghan like my brother did. At our 10-year high school reunion, I asked his wife how they knew each other. I'm his wife, she said. Like, you better keep your hands off of him. Yeah, I said, but how did you meet? Sad to see she wasn't interested in meeting the people he'd played house with 25 years before. As a kid, I loved to swim at the beach on Lake Michigan, a mile from my childhood home, and especially up north. I remember walking on the footpath, the shortcut to the beach from the cabin we stayed in. The feel of cold, watery mud squishing up through the soft green moss and decaying trees and through my toes. That 1 week of the year, I was home in a deeper way than I ever knew in the city where I grew up. I'm nostalgic. I'm nostalgic for Friday night dinners at Mike's Diner. We'd go there on payday, and I'd get a corn dog and burn my tongue on it every time. I'm nostalgic for corn dogs. Haven't had one since I became a vegetarian at 12, though I hear there are some good veggie ones out there now. I'm nostalgic for summer dinners in our backyard, eating and laughing as the sky grew dark, my dad at the head of the table, blue bug light zapping giant insects behind him, his plate still full while the rest of ours were long empty, his arms raised, talking as much as his voice was. Nostalgic for paper plates in wicker holders and towels as tablecloths held onto the table with a plastic clip made just for that reason at my grandma's house. Long afternoons in her backyard, on the screened-in porch with aunts and cousins and hard rolls and cheese and trips to the grocery with my little hand wrapped around my grandpa's pinky finger. So yeah, another thing I like about free writing is, for me, how often surprising it is. Like, I even wrote these prompts and I was like, oh, I know what I'm thinking I'm nostalgic for, as I was writing the prompts, and then was just surprised by what came out. So that is one of the many free writing invitations, is to let yourself be surprised. And yeah, so now, before heading out on your day, if you have a moment, I really do encourage you to pause this recording and read your writing aloud and just practice feeling your own words moving through you, practice observing them non-judgmentally, practice noticing how they feel in your body. Sometimes our words can, give chills or cringes or goosebumps or whatever, but notice where the energy is, and that's often a sign that there's something possibly more to work with there. And regardless, go ahead and pause it and do that now, or hang out right here, right now. We're going to do another little closing meditation. So yeah, go ahead and close your eyes again. Now I invite you to put one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Just take a couple deep breaths. Be giving some love and tenderness and appreciation to those younger versions of yourself. Giving gratitude for the younger parts of you that knew how to play freely. Really just letting yourself feel into any nostalgic sensations. And then coming back to the present. Think about your day moving forward. An offering that your younger self might have for you right now. A little bit of wisdom from your younger self for how your present self can meet the day. All right. Hope you have a lovely day or evening or afternoon or all of it. And we'll see you next time. Mwah.